Hello and welcome to Cricket Happenings, dear friends and subscribers. As far as today's Cricket Happenings show goes, it's the final test match of the India-England series coming up tomorrow, and that is the final test match that is coming up, fifth test between India and England, which is going to be played at the at the Oval at the Oval Cricket Ground. Um, and as you know, this is a very significant moment for England, and especially for the England opener Alistair Cook, who would like to finish off on a real high, being the record breaker as far as the Test aggregate is concerned, and also as far as centuries are concerned, which is 32. I'm talking about none other than the England opener Alistair Cook, who is playing his last test match of his career, and he's going to be retiring after this particular test match. So it's a great feeling for Alistair Cook, who has done all the hard work, and he's reaping the fruits, no doubt about that. So I'm going to talk about that, but I'm going to do the preview of this wonderful test match which is coming up, the final test match. England have already won the series, so India would definitely like to challenge them tomorrow and probably get a victory under the belt, so that if one looks at the score line, it's 3-2, but one knows that England are a very tough unit to crack. And so I'm going to do a brief preview of that. And also, the Asia Cup is coming up on September 15. We all know that. So Hong Kong beat the United Arab Emirates to clinch a spot in the Asia Cup. So that is something. So Hong Kong beating United Arab Emirates and clinching a spot in the Asia Cup, and that's a great feeling for Hong Kong, which I'll be talking in a sort of a brief manner, and then I'll have a look at some general cricket news. But first, let's head on to the fifth test, India versus England, and see what's in store. So just doing a preview of the test match, and also I'll keep the talk on Alistair Cook. The only reason being that he tomorrow needs one run to complete 1,000 test runs at the Oval, and if he does that, he will become the third England player to complete 1,000 runs at two different venues. The previous players being his mentor Graham Gooch and Alex Stewart, who have done that in the past. As far as Virat Kohli is concerned, he is going towards another record where he needs 56 runs to get to the 600 mark, but it's the former Pakistan player Mohammad Yusuf who holds the record for the highest aggregate on a test series, on a 5-test series in England, which was 631, and Kohli needs 88 runs. So that would be a bit far off, but one never knows. If he makes a century, everything would be done. I'm going to now talk about the pitch as well. I'm told that there is a lot of green grass on the pitch. Now, whether they say the indications are that they might be cutting off some of the grass. So basically, if the grass is cut, one knows for a fact that whichever team wins the toss will go to bat first. And also, it's also told that there are going to be a lot of overcast conditions as far as this particular test is concerned. So definitely, India have to choose a very good bowling combination. So let's look at India, because England, let's talk about England. As I said, Alistair Cook would be liking to finish off in great glory in this particular match, because and he would like to sign off with a century. So India would be very wary about Alistair Cook. He has not had a good time in this series, but who knows that on his final test match he might well ending up scoring a ton, and that's what England would be hoping for. And Alistair Cook would also like something like England actually winning this test match against India, so that he has a lot of pride in that. But India also is not someone that you could just imagine something like that. There will be a lot of hard work involved in that. Keaton and India have they already lost the fourth test match, so one knows that India will be very hungry to get a victory here. And Keaton Jennings, who has got a real life only because England have kept on winning, So Keaton Jennings, this would be a make or break as far as his career is concerned, according to me, because one more failure in this particular final test match, and I think it will be curtains to England's Jennings test career. I'm afraid to say that, because there are a lot of players who are breathing down the line, especially Rory Burns of Surrey has been scoring prolific. As I said, he has scored 1,000 runs for the last 5 years consecutively in county championships in a season. So Keaton Jennings would be well aware about that. Moeen Ali, well, Moeen Ali was the chief wrecker-in-chief, and it will be interesting to see whether India go to actually employ the sweep shot against Moeen Ali, which was missing probably in the previous test match. Joe Root will captain the side. Johnny Bairstow will be on duty, so that is a good news. So Johnny Bairstow will be doing duty as far as keeping is concerned. So Josh Butler will cede the gloves to Jonathan Bairstow, who is the regular keeper, and Jonathan Bairstow himself has not been in any great form. In fact, he has not hit his straps at all, and so Johnny Bairstow will also be under a bit of pressure, and India would like to capitalize on that morale being low for Johnny Bairstow. Ben Stokes, not really come up with the goods as yet, but definitely he's always a difficult customer. Josh Butler is doing well with the ball. For the bat, he has been playing in a very restrained manner, which is good to see. He shows signs of great maturity as far as Ben Stokes is concerned. Josh Butler, so he can concentrate on his batting, as his keeping he would be fielding in the outfield, I suppose. And then, if you look at it, Sam Curran. Sam Curran, as I said, every time he goes out to bat against India, he scores runs. And Sam Curran is someone, I'm sure India would have looked at a lot of videos of his and trying to see what is the way to bowl to Sam Curran and stop him from scoring runs, because he has been so prolific against India. So, and then they have Adil Rashid, who is also no slouch to the bat. We all know that. And England don't have virtually. They have only James Anderson as at least one can call it like a tail. Stuart Broad, Stuart Broad also, as you know, he can bat well, and also Stuart Broad and Anderson combination is always lethal. They hunt in pairs always, and they have done a great job for England. So James Anderson would be thinking that as far as James Anderson is concerned, I would like to say that he has been hunting for the wicket of Virat Kohli. When the series started, it was all about whether James Anderson would win the contest of Virat Kohli. Till now, I can say that Virat Kohli has turned it over. He is the one who is winning the contest, because James Anderson has not managed to dismiss Virat Kohli a single time in the series. A very vital statistic, and Anderson would be hoping that this final test will give him an opportunity to actually go and dismiss Virat Kohli. So good luck to James Anderson, but Virat Kohli so far has won the test against James Anderson. There's no doubt about it. So definitely that is a sort of a real victory as far as Virat Kohli is concerned. So tomorrow would be a game where Anderson would be definitely gunning in for Virat Kohli's wicket. Now, talking about, so this is as far as the England team is concerned. Now let's talk about the Indian team. Now, Indian team, it will be interesting to see whether they can get a good opening partnership, probably a century partnership that has been missing. So Shikhar Dhawan and KL Rahul, if they can combine to put up an opening partnership of say 100 odd runs, that would really help India, because then Cheteshwar Pujara's solidity would help in the as a one drop, and then Virat Kohli himself, Ajinkya Rahane, Rishabh Pant has not been, after the debut he made, he seems to be into a sort of a bind right now, with England actually knowing where to bowl to him. Now it will be very interesting. There are indications that Hanuma Vihari might make his debut, but looking at the conditions where definitely some grass will be shaved off, but also one could remember that it has mentioned that there would be overcast conditions in this particular match. So given the fact I would really say that Hardik Pandya should remain in the team. Yes, his batting has not really come to the fore, but his bowling is something, as you know, he thrives in overcast conditions. His style of bowling can really make the ball talk. And I would, so in that aspect, I would very well love to see Hardik Pandya, and I would like Hanuma Vihari to wait for his test debut. Ravichandran Ashwin was a sort of a real disappointment on a real turning pitch, and that would really definitely, that is something which I could expect, because Ravindra Jadeja is a complete all-rounder like R. Ashwin, but after R. Ashwin's performance in the previous test match, I am sure the selectors would be prompted to bring in Ravindra Jadeja. That could be still accepted according to me. And then we have the pace trio of Ishan Sharma, Mohammad Shami and Jasprit Bumrah to do the needful. So I think it should be a very good game, but looking at the context of the game and looking at the overcast conditions that are going to be there as far as the reports are concerned on this particular oval pitch, I would really plump for Hardik Pandya. I would like Hardik Pandya because they say that the weather is likely to be fair on day one with more overcast conditions expected later in the match. So that definitely tells me that Hardik Pandya is a must for this particular match. Well, so this is as far as my opinion is concerned, and I think we should have a good match. Even England would be pretty benefited because it's the home conditions, and James Anderson could be someone who could really wrought havoc. Very sorry to see that there's no Chris Wokes in the team, but nevertheless, as I said, there's healthy competition as far as the England team is concerned. So I think, but we are in for the beginning of a wonderful test match which is coming up as the final test match, and good luck to Alistair Cook. And Alistair Cook, as I said, is a swan song test match for him, and he would be possibly be hoping that England win the match, and also he himself covers himself with glory with yet another ton, which has been lacking in this particular test series for him. So good luck to him. Well, from here we head on to the Asia Cup qualifiers at Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, where the Asia Cup final was played between the Hong Kong and the United Arab Emirates, and it was Hong Kong who actually won the final match to qualify for the Asia Cup by beating United Arab Emirates by 2 wickets. So let's have a look at what happened. So United Arab Emirates were the ones who actually batted first, and they were it was a 24 overs maximum target was given. So basically it was a 24 overs a side game where United Arab Emirates batting first made 176 for 9. They had Ashfaq Ahmed at the top of the order, slamming 79, the opener, of 51 deliveries with 9 fours and 6 sixes. It was a blistering innings according to me. But other than that, Shaiman Anwar contributed 22 of 14, 1 4, 2 sixes. Other than that, there were only 3 people who got to double figures. Chirag Suri made 11, a very painstaking 11 from Chirag Suri of 40 deliveries, 1 boundary. 22 from Shaiman Anwar, Mohammad Usman 16, Adnan Mufti 16. But other than that, there was not much of a resistance. Rohan Mustafa was out for naught, Rami Shehzad for 2, Mohammad Naveed 6, Amir Hayat 7, Abdul Shakur 7, Ahmed Raza duck. As far as the bowling was concerned, Hong Kong's bowler Azaz Khan was the pick of the bowlers. What a splendid display by him. A match-winning display. 5 overs, no maiden, 28 runs, and he picked up 5 United Arab Emirates wickets. And Tanveer Afzal bowled very well, I thought. 8 overs, 3 minutes, 1 for 26. Ehsan Nawaz, 5 overs, 1 minute, 1 for 31. But Ehsan Khan was slammed to all corners of the field, and as he leaked 55 runs of his 3 overs, and that was something very serious according to me. Nadeem Ahmed, 3 overs, no maiden, 3 for 28. Now Hong Kong chasing 179 runs to win from 24 overs. Got a good start from Nizakat Khan and Anshuman Rath, with Nizakat Khan contributing 38 of 20, dealt with 6 fours and 1 6. And Anshuman Rath, who is a very good player, is the captain of the Hong Kong team, made 28 of 25 with 4 fours. Babar Hayat failed with the bat with 3, that was a disappointment. Katie Shah for naught. Carter coming in made 33 of 32, 1 4, 2 6. And Ehsan Khan, who really had a very tough time with the ball, did very well with the bat, scoring 29 of 24, 2 fours and 2 sixes to give a sort of impetus to the Hong Kong innings. Azaz Khan made 10. McKinney was playing this game, and he's a new player, not out on 14 of 11 balls. He was there when the victory came. Tanvir Afzal was out for 15 of 12 balls with 1 4 and 1 6. Game over, 179 for 8 with 3 balls to spare. Hong Kong clinched victory, and Hong Kong qualified for the Asia Cup. The player of the match went to Azaz Khan for his 5 wickets, and the player of the series going to Ahmed Raza, who performed brilliantly with the ball. Mohammad Naveed, 2 for 47. Amir Hayat, 4.3 overs, 1 for 22. Ahmed Raza, 5 overs, 1 for 38. Rohan Mustafa, 5 overs, 1 for 34. Shaiman Anwar, 4 overs, 1 for 34 was costly. And Hong Kong won the Asia Cup qualifiers, and so they would be taking part in their first Asia Cup for Hong Kong. Congratulations to Hong Kong. Well, other than that, we'll have a sneak peek at some other cricket news as well here. Just looking into my table here as to see what I have for you here as far as cricket news is concerned. But yes, we are waiting for the Asia Cup to begin, 15th of September, and the Pakistani bowler Hassan Khan has said that he would have loved to have Virat Kohli in the Indian team because he wanted to get his wicket. Well, as far as other cricket news is concerned, I don't think there's much to talk. Yes, one thing that I would like to share is that Pakistan's fielding has really gone by leaps and bounds, but as you know, the fielding coach Steve Rickson has quit, and he has been replaced by the Scotland coach, a very successful coach at that of late, Grant Bradburn, who has been named as the new Pakistan fielding coach, and he will be doing duties, and he will be undertaking duties of the Pakistan fielding team for the Asia Cup. And Grant Bradburn is someone who has really molded Scotland in a big manner, and I think Pakistan would be definitely be a team to watch, no doubt about it. We know that the batting and bowling is good, but if their fielding is also perked up, I think Pakistan would be quite a threat in the Asia Cup as well. Well, dear fans and subscribers, they're in some good form as well. So, dear friends subscribers, I don't have anything else to talk about. That's about it as far as today's cricket show goes. With more to come on my next cricket show, which should be coming up tomorrow, it's time to say good night.